And we're back with another Chronicle.su World Tour episode of Soda SHAQ Vanilla Flavor. On this week's episode, we're going to be drinking Soda SHAQ as recommended by Joey's World Tour of Joey's World Tour Incorporated. As you can see, a steady diet of Soda SHAQ has withered away my muscles, and I'm slowly begun to atrophy while drinking Soda SHAQ. I think it's a delicious beverage, and you shouldn't let little stuff like that deter you from enjoying yourself, you know? It's creamy. It's all natural. They can't legally put all natural on the can if it's not actually all natural. So what you'll find is that good products like Soda SHAQ will have the words all natural on the can, and that lets you know that it's safe to drink as much as you want. As you can see, sugar doesn't always have the effect of making you fat. It can make you extremely skinny, and in my case, you can now see my cheekbones where Soda SHAQ has destroyed my appetite and my brain cells. I'm no longer able to connect long chains of thought. Like you probably noticed that I'm having trouble speaking in this video. It's you can't let something like that stand in the way of enjoying a fine all-natural beverage such as Soda SHAQ, as recommended by Joey's World Tour. Joey's World Tour is the hottest up-and-coming food review channel on YouTube. Joey is taking the world by storm, forcibly penetrating the online food review market, dominating the community with his reviews of cheap and readily accessible fast food choices. I got Soda SHAQ exclusively from 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is the place to go for everything that you can need that's near your house. Now, you'll see on the bag here that it says the food is fresh to go. So when you walk into 7-Eleven, you can find many fresh, all-natural products ready to go. Just pick them off the shelf and eat them like eating fruit off a tree. Just like Soda SHAQ, it's all natural, it's good for you, it's healthy, and there's nothing quite like Soda SHAQ to wither away your appetite and for food and for living. I've drank probably 25 cans of Soda SHAQ since Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, and I'm in this haze where I don't wake up for class, and I don't go to school, but the first thing I do in the afternoon when I wake up is drink a can of Soda SHAQ, because Soda SHAQ is all natural. You can pick it out of your favorite 7-Eleven franchise, and you walk in there, and they've got pictures of Shaquille O'Neal's feet. Now, Shaquille O'Neal has probably done a lot of steroids and human rapid growth hormone, which in most sports is illegal, but in something like the NBA or the NFL, you can get away with, because those are private corporations and they're not federally regulated, like for example baseball. The reason baseball is so boring is due in part to actual federal regulations, because people were doing all these drugs, and it was really obvious that they were cranked up on roids, and that's supposed to be an American sport, and to preserve American integrity we decided to regulate that, I guess. It'd be good if we could do the same for drone strikes. But at Chronicle.su, World Tour, Legal Droker Incorporated, as you can see, is fully in favor of bombing brown women and children, because that's just, I think that's part of our image as an American global patriarch, and that's good for us. It's good for Joey's World Tour. It's good for Shaquille O'Neal at 7-Eleven, because if we weren't able to bomb little brown women and children, would we be able to go and pick out fresh to go right off the shelf, like plucking a peach from a tree and just biting into it, and it's just so juicy. It just tastes like freedom. Without all that, what would we really be? Some cock-sucking socialist country of faggots with health care, where like it's all natural. I don't know, it's all natural, so this is probably not giving me cancer or like hurting me in any way. It's, as you can see, it's keeping me pretty thin. I'm not getting fat. I've got a pretty good bill of health, all thanks to the all-natural soda SHAQ, which I'm drinking right now in front of you. It has a creamy aftertaste, aroma of vanilla, hint of butterscotch on the palate. Joey's World Tour is the fastest growing website on the internet. If you haven't watched Joey's World Tour yet, then you really need to take a second look at your life and ask yourself, what am I doing with my vitality? Like, what is it that I have to give to the world, if not one more page view on joeysworldtour.com. Joey's World Tour is proudly, graciously sponsored by your corporate overlords, your corporate masters, Legal Droker Incorporated, which is an official business, a real business, proud supporter of soda SHAQ and Obama drone strikes. I love that we're killing those kids. I do. I fucking hate brown people. You know, the only thing worse than a brown person is a brown child. And that's who we're killing the most of. So I think that's important. It's important to me. It's important to Legal Droker. It's important to you. This affects all of us. If we stopped the drone strikes now, we'd look like quitters. We'd look like flip-floppers. Is that what you want to be? Is that what you want for your children? Is that the future you want for your grandchildren? Is that the legacy you want to leave behind? We stopped the drone attacks. We quit. Wasn't right to do. No. Fuck that. We will bomb everything. until there's nothing left to bomb, and then we have to fly drones domestically because there's nowhere else left for them to fly. And then they assassinate people like you who haven't yet watched Joey's World Tour. That's who deserves a drone strike in the year 2025 and there's nothing left. People like you, especially if you're brown, if you're Mexican, if you're black, Latino. I don't care if you're from goddamn Utah. Mormonism ain't American either. Mitt Romney, 2016? No thank you. I might live in an office with high ceilings, but I will not vote for a Mormon. Fucking Mormons. You know any Mormons with drones? I sure don't. You know any Mormons drinking Soda SHAQ right now? I sure don't. No, sir, that's why Mormons are evil. They're as bad as the Muslims. They're as bad as the blacks. You know any black Mormons? I sure don't. That's how evil the Mormons are. I'm drinking Soda SHAQ for Joey's World Tour 2009. This is Chronicle.su, Legal Joker Incorporated, Hate Radio, home of the Hatenest Half Hour on the Internet. I'm Old Brutus, Chief Executive Managing Portal Editor of Chronicle.su news aggregation website. This video is made in part for and by Chronicle.su on Chronicle.su's dime. I am being paid for this by Legal Joker Incorporated. I'm not a faggot. I did not vote for Obama, but I do endorse those drone strikes. I think that's a good thing. Well, I think it's a great thing. Drone strikes are about as good as Soda SHAQ. If you can't wrap your head around that, I guess you're just gonna have to move to Poland or something where they don't have Soda SHAQ and think about where you are in life. Think about who you are. Think about watching Joey's World Tour. Think about reading an article at Chronicle.su, find a little truth, get your head straight, find out what's really going on in this country. And read Glenn Beck's Overton Window. That is a timeless classic. I think it's going to stand the test of time. I know it's already in some libraries in Texas and Alabama. It's making its way up the East Coast of Mississippi. Just wait. Arkansas? It's making its way up there. It's in some schools. Real quick, before we go, I would like to read to you a passage from the Overton Window. The Overton Window is Glenn Beck's most recent novel. It's a Pulitzer Prize winner. This is out of chapter 34. My daughter is in danger. I need for you to promise me you'll see her to safety. There were so many conflicting things hammering at his mind. But, despite all that mental noise and everything that had happened, for once in his life he could see it all arranged in its true order of significance. And so he knew, for certain, that there was only one thing to be said. I will. Her grip relaxed somewhat, her head rested back onto the pillow, and she closed her eyes. Soon, a private little smile drifted into her features, as though she might have just then put the finish on a silent prayer. Thank you, Beverly whispered. He didn't respond. but only because he didn't want to presume to be the one she was addressing. "I sent Molly away, but she isn't safe yet," she said. "She's waiting now near the airport. Look in the top drawer of the nightstand. She called and told one of the nurses where she'd be, and they wrote it down for me." "Okay," he said. "I think I'd better get started then." He moved to place her hands down on the bed at her side, but she didn't let him go. "Do you know what we're fighting against, son?" "Yeah, I think so. Some pretty evil people." She offered a look that seemed to suggest his naivete was something she longed for. Ephesians 6:12. Look it up when you get a chance. It's in the Bible. "I will," he said. "There's more to you, Noah, more than you might be ready to believe. I knew of your mother many years ago, and the good she wanted to do, that's what Molly saw in you, she told me. Not your father, but what your mother's given you, and I see it too. I guess I'm glad somebody does. Noah, ellipses. Yes?" There was that tiny glint of a smile again. "Noah, from the Bible, you know." He nodded, and despite everything, he smiled a bit himself. Old Testament. The weak hold on his hand tightened once again. "He wasn't chosen because he was the best man who ever lived," she said softly. "He was chosen because he was the best man available." It's The Overton Window by Glenn Beck, published sometime near the end of his career. It's a fiction based on true events in the mind of a young American man in the year 2010. Glenn Beck, The Overton Window, a thriller. The Overton Window is available in bookstores and a library near you. A thriller, The Overton Window, by Joey's World Tour 2009, Chronicle.su, Legal Joker Incorporated, Hate Radio, home of the Hatenist Half Hour on the internet. I'm Old Brutus. This is SHAQ.